we go. Well, good afternoon, Lane County, Western Oregon. Yes, this is a beautiful view of the Willamette Valley. That is Springfield right now with smoke from the forest fires. And I thought people are walking around town with masks on. I've seen the bandanas. I thought I was getting robbed by somebody downtown. This is what it looks like from Kelly Butte in Springfield. This is the Centennial Viewpoint, Willamette Lane Park and Recreation District. This is looking out to the east. Normally when you look out that direction, you see the Three Sisters, you see the mountains, Potato Hill, you see the little mountain that's by my property, but today you see absolutely nothing. What is the visibility? What do you think that is?
Less than a mile. Probably
less than a mile of visibility that you're seeing right there. And so what I did this morning is, I'm going to turn down. Being that I'm a former news guy, that's very former, I got into my office and I said, you know what I need to do? I need to call the experts. So I called the Lane Regional Air Pollution Authority. I got that right?
We're now the Lane Regional Air Protection Agency.
The Lane Regional Protection Agency, but it's LRAPA?
Yep. Okay,
still LRAPA. And to find out, we're going to find out what the numbers are, what this is, what you can do, how long they think it's going to last. Because they have a website you can go to, which is really cool because you can plug in your area. And this is Joe. What's your last name, Joe?
It's Joe Niehaus.
And Joe does public relations, right?
Yes, public affairs for Lane Regional Air Protection Agency.
So what is this from? What are we dealing with here?
Well, we're dealing with primarily smoke from southwestern Oregon. This is the Checo bar fire smoke that's hitting us really hard, but at the same time we're also getting influenced by some of the smoke off the East Cascade fires as well. So we have an influx of different wildfires near us, far away from us, and it's all collecting right in Lane County.
And what are the numbers right now? What does that mean?
Well, if you go on our website right now, you'll see that our levels are in the hazardous zone at about 400 on the air quality index. That can mean that our particulate count is very, very high. The air quality index measures for many different types of pollutions on the same scale. So it can do particulate matter and ozone, but what we're really looking at is fine particulates from wildfire smoke pollution.
So what can that do what do I need to be careful of?
Well, when you're outside like we are right now, we should probably be wearing a mask, but we're not doing any sort of hard activity. People who are out wanting to exercise should look at that. We're actually recommending people don't go outside when it's this bad. Stay indoors in an area where it's accessible to filtered air conditioning. If you're driving, make sure your AC is on recirculate, so you're just reusing your same air and not pulling in more smoke into your vehicle. And overall, just drink lots of water, stay inside, and don't be super active and wait for this smoke to clear out.
So you guys, this is Joe, and she's with the Lane Regional, I'm going to say it wrong again.
You can say LRAPA.
LRAPA. So they're the folks who monitor the air for us. Also, Carlos, get over here, buddy. This is Carlos from Brinkers LLC.
Hello.
And Carlos, I called him up this morning. I said, Carlos, I got the perfect show for you because you're a contractor, you are doing restoration work, and you guys are in pollutant stuff a lot.
All the time. And actually, I was just, explaining to Joe that we just got certified for a HERA sampling taking, so that you can actually know what we're getting into when we're going into people's houses. So it's basically an Asbestos Hazard Emergency Response Act is what a HERA means. So meaning that just like this is being put up into the air and everybody's being everybody is being affected by it, this is basically the same thing. So you got to have licensed certified contractors that are going into people's houses, working and doing the right demo and taking care of it properly and disposing of it properly, so that you're not, contributing to the pollutants in the air.
So what is about this concerns you? What do you want to know from Joe?
Well, my guys work outside all the time, and so I heard somewhere where basically being outside on an 8-hour day, it could be almost as equal as smoking 9 cigarettes. Something like that. I don't know how.
Well, I don't know the exact numbers, but you definitely don't want to have too much activity outside when it is this bad. Lucky for us, we're going to be seeing some west winds this afternoon. It's going to be pretty weak, but we'll be able to push some of this out. Tomorrow evening, we'll be able to see way more clearance and into Thursday. Unfortunately, it's all pretty short term. And as far as contracting and other work outside goes, we're really encouraging people to talk to Oregon OSHA, and they have a lot of really good recommendations of what's good for your employees. employees.
Okay.
I saw people on the Wildish crew over here at Franklin this morning, and all of them had masks on.
Yeah, so the masks are really important because there are two types of masks that are especially helpful during this time. They're called P100 or N95 masks, and the N95 masks are really what we recommend for filtering out the fine particulate, but it's important that it fits properly, because if it doesn't fit properly, you may as well not be wearing one. Men with facial hair like yourself, you may need to shave to make sure that that fit is really secure, and as well as other people that feel like it's a little bit loose on their faces, make sure that's nice and snug. And unfortunately, those masks have a pretty short shelf life too, so if you are wearing them, you can wear them in use for about 4 hours, maybe a little bit longer, and then you may need to get yourself a new masks because the filters are all clogged up.
So I don't know if you know this part, but I'm going to ask, and you could just say you don't know. That's fine.
Okay.
This is called Get Real. We don't make up anything on this thing. But one of the things my wife was asking me last night, she goes, I wonder about our furnace filters. I mean, what do we know? What do we have to do with those?
Well, I'm not sure entirely. There are different types of filters, and you can call the experts on that and check, but there are HEPA filters that are going to work better for you with the finer particulates than others.
Okay, so if you are probably the best, I would guess after this is over, most of us should probably change our filters, because
that would be highly recommended.
They're probably going to, do you notice that when you're in?
Oh yeah, we do it all the time. I mean, we have to change the filters in our machines, and you could definitely tell after, you know, a job like this from working outside.
So you guys, again, we are at, what is our level right now?
We're in the 400s. It's
so
very
that
high.
is that extremely?
It's the highest that we've seen since we started measuring for fine particulate in 1999.
So you guys, look, this is what
normal? Just curious.
About 12 this time of year.
12?
We're,
Okay, guys,
we're normally in the good zone.
So this is Springfield from Kelly Butte right now. This is what people are breathing. And so Joe is with LRAPA, and Carlos is with Brinker's Restoration Contractors, and we're up here talking to you about what you do and don't want to be doing out here. And what you don't want to be doing is really spending a lot of time out here.
Absolutely. Stay inside if you can.
And if you are outside, a mask is good. Have you noticed on cars? Mine is covered in ash.
There has been reports of ash fallouts all over Oregon. We're hearing more about it from the Portland area currently, but I've definitely seen some ash even on my car.
So are we worse than, like, what is, do you know, I didn't ask you up, so if you don't know, that's fine, but what are we considered next to Portland and other places like that?
We're currently worse than the upper Willamette Valley, but they are getting hit pretty hard by the Eagle Creek fire and other fires nearby, so they'll probably catch up to us. We are unfortunately at the end of the valley where things tend to collect a little bit longer. But if you look at airnow.gov, you can also see that there are other places in the country getting impacted. Idaho, for instance, is seeing levels almost as high or even higher than we are. But for the most part, we are in the top 5 of some of the nastiest air currently.
Wow. Matt Vidal lives up in McKinsey. Lots of ash on my truck. Burnt leaves and needles too. Burnt leaves and needles are coming down there. Dana, is there anywhere you can go to get away from the smoke?
So we have been hearing reports that it's smoky on the coast as well, so our entire county seems enveloped in the smoke. The further north and west you go, the better it's going to be. Right on the coast, right on the beach itself, people are saying that it is less smoky. The smoke seems to be in the upper atmosphere and not as much on the ground. So if you can, a day trip out to the coast would be great. Try to drive up north on 101 and see if it clears up anymore. And please send us photos so that we can continue to give folks this information. We don't actually have monitors on the coast because generally we have fantastic air quality up there.
Now, one thing you can do, I would recommend, I was at Pacific City for the whole week last week, and we'd get it at the end of the day kind of high, but it wasn't down on the ground level where you could smell it, but you weren't breathing it like this crap. And also if you go on Google Oregon cameras, and there's some, Pacific City has one off of the Cape Conwanda shores, the hotel there, you can look out and see what the conditions are before you go. There's some up north. Astoria was pretty clear. I saw some pictures this morning that were pretty clear, but there's cameras up and down the Oregon coast which you can look and see. What about Roseburg and down with the Chetco fires and some of those? Are they pretty bad too?
Absolutely. The Rogue Valley is getting hit really, really hard, just like us. They have the same sort of topography. The Chetco Bar fire is actually closer to them, so they're getting hit first. So the smoke that we're getting has already been through Roseburg and coming and lingering our way. So if you have family down there, give them a call, check in on them as well.
Angela, you are welcome. I'm glad to provide this service for you. If somebody's going, thank you for doing this for us. We appreciate it. Bill, at what point does it become truly toxic?
Well, that's different for everybody. We're really urging people, if they're starting to feel the effects on the respiratory system, to call your doctor or your healthcare provider. Lane County Public Health has been a really good resource. We don't have any healthcare experts on our staff. We do is provide the information and the data about what we're measuring, but absolutely, if you feel like you're having any symptoms, trouble breathing, lots of wheezing and coughing, feeling like you're really struggling to take in breaths, or having even your eyes are burning or watering excessively, call your doctor and see if there's anything that you can do or they can provide for you to get some relief.
So again, you guys, normally 12 is the number this time of year, and we are over 400.
Well, 12 was, I was kind of joking, but we're definitely usually in the good range during the summertime when we don't have wildfire smoke, and the
So
good
we're
range
low.
is 0 to 50. So being at 400 is definitely new territory for us currently, and hopefully we don't linger here long. We've been seeing it clear out in the afternoon just a little bit, but enough for us to go outside, take your dog for a walk, and then come back in. But sometimes it does sock in for longer periods of time.
And this, we can expect slight breezes tonight to blow a little bit of it, but we might not notice it too much.
Yeah, this afternoon we're supposed to get some west winds. West winds are great. That's the marine layer pushing in. And it's supposed to be about 5 to 8 miles per hour, which is a little bit weak. We want a little bit stronger than that. And unfortunately, overnight we get easterly flow, which pushes some of the smoke from the Cascades back into the valley. And right now, this southerly flow is really what we're getting that Checo Bar fire smoke in. It's just a big old mixing pot of smoke.
So, I mean, how long could we have this stuff here?
Until the fires go out, unfortunately. So until
That
it
could be
starts
a long
raining,
time.
everyone do your rain dances. We've been crossing our fingers.
Carlos, show us your rain dance. What does that look like? I've never seen the brink. Oh,
I'm
there.
just kidding.
He'll do anything we ask.
But you know, you made a good point though. I mean, just on the way here, I've seen people running.
Right.
You know, people are still going about their exercise, and it's probably not a good time to go at it. Do it inside, is what you're saying.
Right. Go to a gym, go somewhere air conditioned if you can. Folks that are out there that are doing their normal activities, you know, their tolerance must be a lot higher than mine, because it only takes me about 15 minutes or so. I think I'm getting a little clogged up now, actually.
I am too. I can feel it.
Thanks, Rick, for calling me out here.
Yeah. I thought I'd poison some of my closest friends, Joe and Carlos. You know, I didn't call any of the rest of you because I didn't want this to happen to you. No, people are thanking you over and over again for this information, because I think it's really super important that we know. So again, if you don't have to be out in it, don't. And what about pets? I mean, I would guess that there's livestock you probably can't do a whole lot about.
So we had this question. People have been calling, what about my horses, my cattle, my goats, my sheep? I can't bring them inside. And so we called the Washington State University's veterinary school and asked them for recommendations, and their recommendations were water the areas around them so that they're not creating excessive dust. They don't need to breathe in any more particles than they already are. Also, make sure that they have plenty of clean water, because they need to be able to keep their mucous membranes well hydrated. And if they're free-range cattle or horses, they'll go places where it feels a little bit less smoky. They'll be able to do that instinctively. Other animals, just keep a close eye on them. If you have especially very young animals or sick animals or older animals, call your veterinarian if it feels like they're really struggling with this air. So there's not too much we can do, but make sure that they have water and keep their areas clean is really helpful.
And your house cats and pets, I guess, obviously you could keep them in the house.
Keep them inside.
Yeah, just bring them inside. Yeah, that's
So-
what we did. So.
Well, you guys, do you guys have any more questions for Joe? What about the kids and school tomorrow?
Oh, the schools have been calling us. We've been working with the Oregon Health Authority and Lane County Public Health to try to get information out to them. There is a health guideline that they've been passing out. So if school districts have any questions, then they should definitely call the public health department.
Because I heard some teachers at the gym this morning talking and saying, like, in Springfield, there's only a few, I think 3 schools that are actually air conditioned.
Wow.
So then you've got all those kids, and that's, that could be potentially uncomfortable.
Well, recess, they're going to want to go out, so we might as well go see if we can put them in the gym. But boy, that'll be interesting.
They may have to watch a movie this time.
Yeah.
Have we seen this before in the last 50 years?
Well, it's hard to say based off of our data itself, because our data standards have been changing for so many years that we don't have anything consistent to compare against. But anecdotally, some people have said this reminds them of times when we had the wigwam burners as well as the field burning, where it would get socked in like this, maybe not for days at a time, but definitely for hours. And it is dangerous. It's hard to see, it's hard to breathe. And like I said before, the fine particulate matter levels have not been this high since we started monitoring in the late 90s.
Wow. See, and I was here you were here in the days of field burning and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And this is what it used to look like. It would get so socked in that you could see nothing, which is why they stopped field burning. But obviously we can't just go out and stop forest fires because we are not Mother Nature
There
or
are
God.
plenty of people trying them, and we're incredibly grateful for them. That's
Oh
for
my
sure.
gosh, no kidding. Joe, anything else we need to talk about here?
Well, I mean, LRAPA just wants to thank everybody for following us so closely and so diligently. We've been posting updates on our Facebook and Twitter. It's at Lane Regional Air if anyone wants to continue. And our data information is posted hourly on our website. It's LRAPA.org. And if anyone has questions, give us a call, send us a message, and we'll respond as best we can. We have a lot of really good people working on this. We have lots of state partners and local partners, and we are happy to help. And we're just really hoping, like everyone else, west winds and rain. Just keep repeating that.
Yeah.
And people can go on your website and you can put in your zip code and it'll kind of give you a close on the particulate level.
Right, it'll point you to the monitor that's closest to you, and you can go look at what that monitor is specifically measuring for.
Carlos, anything else you want to know from this young lady?
Just, I would say, no, she's answered everything. I should just stay inside, see?
Carlos is going home for the rest of the day.
Yes, thanks.
Joe, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, you're welcome. Carlos, come here. I want you to talk a little bit about what you do since you're sponsoring this here show. Tell folks what it is that as a restoration contractor, you're dealing with this kind of stuff all the time.
Yeah, like I just
In a
mentioned,
building.
now we're certified company to be able to come in and basically take samples of your drywall, your flooring, be able to turn them in to see if there's asbestos, so we're not contributing to the particulates in the air.
So if
especially
you
the
come into
harmful
my
ones.
house and it's built before 2000 or 2004,
2004 now,
then
that
you have to
makes change.
sample it.
Exactly, yeah. So you can't just have any contractor come into your house and just start busting into the drywall without really knowing what's there. You have to test the mud, the tape, all that stuff. There could even be lead underneath latex paint in all the layers of drywall.
So as a guy who does this for a living, were you surprised when you went to this class and learned how much stuff has asbestos in it?
Oh, I've realized how much harm I've done to my body from before I got certified back in the day.
Right. So you and your crews are taking more precautions for your homeowners and yourself.
Absolutely, yeah. And so we can come in, we can have everything tested so that you do have paperwork, because now we have to provide paperwork when we go to the dump to throw stuff away, which is, fair for everyone.
So I said to Carlos, I wonder what my house would be. It was built in 1904, and he goes, "Oh my God."
Those are awesome projects. You just got to know how to work with them.
Right.
So you don't want to have anybody just come in and start tearing it up, because then in the end you're going to be there sleeping with the asbestos floating in the air.
Right. So Rick, I see you on here. Other realtors and people involved in that industry. Carlos Brinkers LLC, restoration contractors, great people. Go in and do all kinds of work, and they find ways to. We just did something with Oakshire, Tom over at Oakshire recently. Yeah. They did a whole refiguring on his property. He had water damage. Ended up being able to do all kinds of things he wanted to dream about doing.
Yes.
And got it all taken care of for very little money that he thought. He was surprised.
Yes. Well, we were able to, since we already had the house half torn up, we were able to do a little bit of changing in the in the layout without having to get too crazy on the extra money for the budget. So
Carlos just let me call him up at the last minute and say, "Hey, I'm meeting Joe from LRAPA up on the hill, and would you like to come get poisoned with me?" And he said,
"Perfect.
Sure, sounds like my kind of day." So you guys, thank you for joining us. Please take this and share it on your page, because there's a lot of people that just don't know and they're not getting the information that they need. And we just got it from Joe with LRAPA, updated information that'll keep you safer. Do not go outside without a mask on. I know we are doing it. Don't write me and tell me, "Rick, how bad." I'm going to go get in my car, go back to my office and be a good boy. Don't be running out there. Don't be exercising. Go to a gym, or else just put it off for a few days, because everything you're doing to help your body, you're actually probably destroying it in the other thing.
And change your filters, or at least put some HEPA filters in your system. It'll help a lot.
And according to LRAPA, our numbers are about a 400 right now, which is dangerous. And that's the highest ever. So you should not be out in this. And you guys just bear with it. I know it's miserable, and people getting headaches.
Enjoy your summer indoors. Thanks, Rick.
And hey, school already started now. No big deal. The kids are back in school. So anyway, if you have any other questions, go to LRAPA, their website, their Facebook page. They're updating it. There's people over there working around the clock getting information to you. If you need restoration contracting work done safely, so you don't have to live in this when they're doing it in your house,
you can get a hold of me at carlos@brinkersllc.com, or my phone number at 541-514-3317. If any of my friends are watching, go ahead, please put it out there for me.
Yeah, and you guys, if you appreciated this information today, that's thanks to LRAPA, also because Carlos sponsors the show, so we wouldn't be able to do this without people like Carlos in our community who also care about what's going on. All right, we're going to go get safe and get inside, and you do the same thing. Again, I'll leave you with a beautiful view of the Cascade Mountain Range, somewhere out there in that smoky haven. Oh my gosh. Stay safe, you guys. And remember, share this on your page, please.